Here's an interesting phenomena that I'm just starting to see on a regular basis. It's when a large corporation virtue signals and doesn't really have any effect. In fact, I'd say it has very little other than getting people to talk about the fact that they virtue signaled their way through something. It's the same kind of effect that you see on this other social media platforms by, the regular trolls that are out there. Very little happens other than, you get a little bit of an uproar. Occasionally, if you have an activist journalist involved, something could come of it, but it usually doesn't. And the best example I have of corporate virtue signaling failure is Apple. That's right. Apple did something because they wanted to contribute on the global stage, and guess what? It didn't really matter anyway. Want to know what it is? Here we go. Do you remember the rush of companies out there that were running away from this big country, right? That used to be a superpower. And in fact, a large country that happens to control a lot of natural gas resources and some oil and some other things like that other countries really want. And, all of these big companies ran away from them because they invaded another country because there was a dispute. I can't say the names of the countries because I get in trouble here on YouTube for some reason. Can't talk about this. It's a scary subject. War's scary enough as it is. You can't actually have like news or discussion around it because that would be terrible. But companies pulling out of this big country. Apple did too. In fact, there's an article that I have up right now that says when Apple pulled out of the bear country in March, but guess what? The people that live there, well, they can still buy the iPhone 14. That's right. They don't have to go to the retailer. They don't have to do any of the special things you used to have to do to get the new iPhone. No. They talk about the fact that Russian mobile network MTS has started taking pre-orders for the iPhone 14. Even though Apple has exited Russia and halted product sales following the invasion of the little country over there. Apple pulled out of Russia or the Russian market a week after the invasion happened, along with a lot, like I mentioned, a lot of other big corps that, virtue signaled their way out of there, much to their financial detriment, let's say. But the people that live in that country are still going to be able to buy their iPhone 14. It's because of something called parallel imports. If consumers want to purchase these phones, then they're going to get purchased. There will be such an opportunity. And this is from the trade minister over there on September 8th. It was reported by one of the state-owned media outlets over there. And essentially is just responding to a question about whether the new iPhone would be imported to Russia under its parallel imports program. And yes, of course it will. Russia has legalized parallel imports going back to May. So it's been several months. You can get all of these things. You're just circumventing these restrictions that really haven't done anything. Even the governmental restrictions haven't done anything. And they've replaced the way that they used to trade already, and much to our detriment and many other European countries' detriment. So this has not been a win, by the way. But anyway, so by August of this year, just last month, there's been gray market sales reaching 6.5 billion. Again, it didn't do anything. You can virtue signal away. It doesn't matter. So even though Russia, McDonald's, all these other companies essentially stopped selling their products there and even abandoned their locations, retailers are still selling their stuff. In fact, I believe I heard that some of the McDonald's restaurants had reopened under a different name doing different stuff. But, it is what it is. You've got a lot of these newer models coming out there, and they're going to be priced basically about the same that you would purchase them for here in the States. In fact, when it comes to the new iPhone 14, if you read the article, the prices start at about 84,990 rupees. or excuse me, rubles. Excuse me, wrong currency. Apologies. That's $1,382. It's about the same that you're going to pay for a top-end iPhone here in the States. So the only downside is it could take you 120 days to get. So you start taking orders now, October, November. You get them in around Christmas or the end of December. It's a heck of a present. And they still work on the cell phone networks, huh? Wondrous global economy thing right there. When everybody's using the same tech, everything still works everywhere else. So it's pretty funny. When Business Insider went to Apple to get a comment, of course they didn't respond. But again, like I said, this is one of those circumstances that nothing that you do is making a hill of beans a difference. And they don't like to be called on the carpet about that. They don't like for it to be pointed out. So of course they're not going to comment to any journalist covering the story, because there's nothing they can do, and it's just funny. So with that being said, what do you think? Do you think that it's a waste of time for these corps to actually virtue signal in this way? I mean, you're behaving badly, so my corporation isn't going to sell directly in your nation anymore, but you can still buy our goods anyway, easily, circumventing those qualms that we have. You think that? Do you think that's profitable? Do you think that's a good thing for these companies? I don't know. I'm just curious what you think. Feel free to leave the comments down below. Do you think it's? Do you think that any of these companies really benefited in any way from doing what they did? Do you think any of these governments that have done it in their own way have benefited in any way? I don't know. Maybe artificially increasing the prices for other countries. I don't know. Maybe there's benefit in that. There might be. You'd have to do some research. Anyway, please go ahead and support other independent creators out there as well. That would be amazing. I know they would appreciate it. I talk about it every single video. It's amazing to me the amount of support I get, and I'm very grateful for it. When you hit like, share out a video, subscribe to a channel, comment, that means the world to a creator, including me. Those comments drive a lot of engagement and really do improve viewership of the videos overall. It just magically feeds the algorithm, and that's really hard to do because the algorithm's focusing on big corporate entities that are virtue signaling to no avail. With that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.